Islam, NGL, Friday class, live on location, getting everything set up and laying the flowers here.
The only black I represent hip-hop chronicles. It's ironical. This mission was possible. On the darker borders called Moorish road nautical. I make them sick to their abdominal. A sun falcon L. Light up a verse so phenomenal. Black power MCs repping God Hop. With no status. Moorish MC wake masses using mic apparatus. Black power faker than Trish Stratus boom. It's more science when Muslims run 7 times around Q. It's more science that got L shot at the podium. More science got you high up for auditorium of comedic mysteries. More's the custodian. Warriors stand on squares in my lyricodian. Black supremacy is dead like some king over law.
So today, you know, it's gonna be a real special day, y'all. You know, because we got some special guests in the building. Today is definitely gonna be something special for you guys out there in YouTube land or whatever else you're watching. And of course, we got our active Moors in the building, activemoors.com, more book, the Long More Forum. You know, make sure you get in contact with us, get in with Active Moors so you can get on point. So, you know, we're live, family. And I'm just getting the link out to a couple more places, you know. Hopefully the room will fill up pretty quickly. We're going to get started. But either way, we're gonna keep it moving. You know how Moors do. Navigating. Yeah. So while we getting started, who we got in the building? Yo, introduce yourself. Go on hop in the chair, man. Yeah, go on hop in the chair, man. Keep it smooth.
Islam, family, Islam. This your good brother, Amexem Bay, you know. Building with your brother L. Brother Malik, come out of the people. Assalamu alaikum, Moors.
Alaikum salam.
Alaikum salam. Hey, we in the building. It's your brother Malik Bay. You know, we're here for another study, and you know, just talk about some of the current events that's going on, you know. So,
all name claims in living color.
you know, just chilling.
Yeah, we just chilling, getting it set up right now.
Right, though.
All right.
Alright, so we get the flow.
All right. Yeah, I know, right? So play a little musical chairs out here, you know. And if you ain't got your seat, then hey, you just ain't in the building, man. You just might missed it. We're going and cut the music right now, so we can go and get started. And yep, we got some folks getting in the chat right now in the room. See who popping in, checking in with us one time. But yeah, Moors, we Islam. Gonna get started. So this is the Friday class. So the title of today's class is in living color. And I wanted to kind of freestyle today because a lot of us are thinking that we're really living in color, you know. And it's coming from a conversation, sets of conversations I've been having with some other Moors, you know, throughout the weeks and the times and from the round table. And it's occurred to me that, you know, we've got a lot of these, you know, zombie shows and movies, you know, stuff like The Walking Dead, and, you know, if you're on Netflix, there's this one called Citizen Z, and, and they got another I Zombie, and you know all these zombie movies and shows and stuff, right? And it was occurring to me, you know, that there's a common theme going throughout all of these shows, right? To where you've got, you know, the general population basically, you know, living as zombies, and the few who are striving and fighting to survive, you know, are out there, you know, trying to maintain humanity in the midst of chaos and destruction. And, you know, Noble Drew Ali foretold, you know, in the prophecies and in the oral statements and stuff of, you know, the destruction. And he told, you know, like here, it's page 13, right? Oral statements and prophecies. Number 62. One day bombs are going to fall so that they won't miss a spot on as wide as my shoe. Right?
That's right on.
He said that you are going to need a basement to hide in.
Right.
Right? And ever since they you know, they did what they did to Nagasaki in Japan, we've known that man has had capabilities of atomic weaponry.
Right.
And, you know, guided, you know, laser guided weaponry. Even at that. And we saw that demonstrated during Desert Storm, and, you know, the advances of that even now to drone warfare. All right? With the Obama era wars, you know.
But that's like right on.
Yeah.
What you're saying, because I was reading, and matter of fact, I was just reading on this very same topic you're talking about right now, and how it correlates to the so-called struggle that the Moors are in. Now, we know from reading, I think the year was 1776 or 1774 when the Moors was branded Negro, Black, and Colored. But check this out. In the Moors' rise from civil death.
Let's show it to the people right quick, just so they can get a look at it. Oh, bam. All right, everybody in the classroom.
Check this out. And we got those tags: Negro, Black, and Colored. Now on page 15, it says Black. The word Black is also one of the state's slave and ward labels used in European colony state social engineering. It is an adjective meaning. Now check this out. I want y'all to pay attention to this. There's a lot of stuff in it, but pay close attention to this one. It has 12 meanings, but I'm gonna emphasize 11. Temporarily blind or unconscious. Check this. Temporary blind or unconscious. Harem Biff.
And you writing exact, more. You writing exact where I was going with it.
Check this. Let's watch the bill. Watch the bill.
Go for it.
They've been calling us black. We've been accepting black. But check the code. Harem Abiff.
Harem Abiff.
So they've been calling us that code.
Now
it's been coded. We didn't know that we was Harem Abiff.
Now Islam. Now for those who don't really understand Masonry, you know, to the degree that most Moors do, who is Harem Abiff to Masons from what you understand?
Moors.
In your demonstration. It's Moors.
Moors. In the shallow grave. Yeah.
In the shallow grave.
Yeah.
Buried in the northwest.
Yes.
All right.
Here we go again. Temporarily blind or unconscious. Black. Temporary blind.
Temporary blind or unconscious.
It's a temporary.
It's temporary.
You can recover from it.
You can recover from it. All right. I'm just making sure.
Black. But they've been calling us that.
All right.
But check the deeper meaning behind it. They've been calling us Harem Abiff. Now that we know, damn, we Harem Abiff.
In the lodge.
In the lodge.
All right. Keep going, more.
So they know, they've been knowing that we Harem Abiff. They've been calling us Harem Abiff. But once again, what we always talk about, etymology,
Yep.
the study of words, the meanings. Now check this. I'm going to show you something. It correlates to the Bible in its entirety.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading this. This is from the book of Nicodemus, right? It says, everybody know that the man they call Jesus conquered death.
Yahshua ben Yosef.
Yes. He was in the grave 3 days, and he was wrestling with himself. Because in the book, the mysteries of the secret brotherhood from the East, it always makes
the red book.
Yeah, the red book. It always made mention in that book that he found himself.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to understand that when he found himself, he had to go that far to find himself. He had time.
Indeed.
In that time that he found himself. He knew at that point, higher self, lower self.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the 40 days he was struggling with himself.
And he took that time, didn't he?
He took that time. So he really mastered the carnal.
The carnal nature.
So this is what he was saying. He was saying, brothers, what I have done, you can do too.
And greater.
And greater things.
Islam.
Check this.
All right, keep going.
Now here it is in the book of Nicodemus. A lot of people may not be familiar with this, but I'm going to tell you the title of it. This is chapter 17. It says, Death and the devils in great horror at the Christ's coming.
Mm-hmm.
He tramples on death, seizes the prince of hell, and takes Adam with him to heaven. Impious death and her cruel officers, hearing these things, were seized with fear in their several kingdoms. When they saw the clearness of the light, and the Christ himself on a sudden appearing in their habitation, they cried out therefore and said, We are bound by thee. Thou seemest to intend our confusion before the Lord. Who art thou, who has no sign of corruption, but that bright appearance which is a full proof of thy greatness, of which yet thou seemest to take no notice? Check this. Who art thou, so powerful and so weak, so great and so little? A mean. Now check this out. A mean. That's M-E-A-N. I looked up in the synonym dictionary. And the synonym dictionary brought back two meanings that stood out, and I can relate that to the scriptures. Low and inferior. So he was low and he was inferior. You can go to Hebrews chapter 2.
Okay.
Verse chapter 2, verse 14. Matter of fact, hold on, check this right here. Now they making reference to the Messiah, right? Hebrews chapter 2, verse 14. This is what it says. For so much then as the children are partakers of the flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil. Now here it is. Now these devils are saying, who are you? You in this frail body, but yet you so damn powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Check it. And yet a soldier. So you weak, you low, you scampy, but yet we see you as a soldier of the first rank, who can command in the form of a servant, as a common soldier, the King of glory, dead and alive, though once slain upon the cross. And it is keep going and keep going. But what is referring and relating to, and it is crazy that we're on this topic, is talking about us. It's like our ancestors put it, and it's true what they say, the ancestors did put it in riddle forms.
Mm-hmm.
So that it would be easy for us to recognize, because they knew it was going to be this deep, but it ain't really that deep. We just are bombarded with superstitions, like Brother C and Bay said, superstition, bullshit, and nonsense. Now, when we share all of that, it's just this thinking, and it's true what it says. Then man can truly walk to Allah himself hand in hand and put his sacrifice in Allah's hands. Yeah, there'll be no need for no priests, because we be priests ourselves.
Now, right there on that note, right, and to the note about the priests, right, chapter 7, coming out of the Mysteries of Sovereign Brotherhood of the East, Red Book, right. Again, in Lua's lessons, the Mysteries of Egypt. Again, in Lua taught, he said, quote, the Indian priests became corrupt, Brahm was forgotten in the streets. The rights of men were trampled in the dust. Verse 1, and then a mighty master came, a Buddha of enlightenment, who turned away from wealth and all honors of the world, and found the silence in the graves and caves, and he was blessed. He taught the gospel of a higher life and taught men how to honor man. He had no doctrine of the gods to teach. He just knew man. And so his creed was justice, love, and righteousness. I quote to you a few of many of the helpful words which Buddha spoke. Hate is a cruel word. If man hates you, regard it not. And you can turn the hate of men to love and mercy and goodwill. Mercy is as large as all the heavens, and there is good enough for all. With good, destroy the bad. With generous deeds, make avarice ashamed. With truth, make straight the crooked lines that errors draw. For error is but truth distorted, gone astray. And pain will follow him who speaks or acts with evil thought, as does the wheel the foot of him who draws the cart. He is the greater man who conquers self than he who kills 1,000 men in war. He is the noble man who is himself what he believes that other men should be. Return to him who does you wrong your purest love, and he will cease from doing wrong. For love will purify the heart of him who is beloved as truly as it purifies the heart of him who loves. The words of Buddha are recorded in the Indian sacred books. Attendeth them for they are part of the instructions of the Holy Breath. The land of Egypt is the land of secret things. The mysteries of the sages lie locked, bound in our temples and shrines. The masters of all times and claims come here to learn. And when your sons have grown to manhood, they will finish all their duties in Egyptian schools. But I have said enough. Tomorrow at the rising of the sun, we meet again. Right? And to the point about, the underlying theme being the rising and, of the man in the consciousness to save humanity. Right? And, when you look on the front of the one-on-ones and you see the prophet stepping out of the ways of the calm nature, the world, like you were saying right here, right? Going back to what you were saying about, Yeshua being able to conquer his carnal self, just so y'all can see here in the class, right, what we referring to. The prophet is bringing the woman out of the cares of the world, sitting on the firm foundation being salvation. And, recognizing that humanity is written on her womb. All right? So when the prophet said uplift fallen humanity, right, he was talking about uplifting the woman and rebuilding, setting the foundation so that families, right, could have a firm foundation. The man and woman wouldn't have to fight amongst each other, and we could, do other things.
Check this out, brother.
Now, yeah, keep going.
Now, I want you to listen to this. Looking at this picture again. Looking at this picture again, right here. The prophet got the woman.
Talking about the cover of the one-on-ones, right?
Bringing out of the water. Hold the picture up so they can always see it. Keep this in their mind. Who do they say is lost at sea? Who? The Moors are lost at sea. What did the prophet do? The prophet went and got us from the sea. The prophet went and got us from the sea. This is why he says, I have brought back your nationality. I have brought back your religion. What else do you want me to give you? Shall I kill?
So you want me to kill
Yo, listen how deep that is. The Moors was lost at sea. The prophet bringing them out of the sea.
Now with that, they when they rebranded the Moors, Negroes, Blacks, and Colors, right? We were classified then as 3/5 of a whole person, Islam, and we understand, all the different definitions of person, but the 2/5 fifths that we were missing were birthright and nationality. Islam. And like you said, that's what the Prophet brought us. To make us whole again, right? To make us complete. And again, you know, going to the, you know, to the lessons and everything, he set the foundation for families and for humanity to maintain itself, right? So if we don't activate this science, you know, of I, self, law, and master, you know, love, truth, in our creed, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, humanity is over, all right? Because we are in a current state of chaos that cannot be solved by anything other than love at this point. And we keep running from it, but that's the only solution. You know, hence why the Prophet said that it's the first principle. Islam. But we struggle and we battle with things on an individual level, oftentimes because we don't have, as I like to put it, the mental inertia or the collective inertia to do other things on a group level. And, you know, I've often found in my journey that it's the experience of actually trying to accomplish something that will teach you more and, you know, give you more than you would trying to, you know, get it done on your own, you know, or not doing it at all. Saying, I ain't gonna fool with this, you know, this stuff, because these brothers over here, they don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Rather than teaching them how to fish and helping them be the best person they could be. You know what I mean? Helping them where, you know, just if it's not to you know, because I ain't necessarily got to sit here and baby, you a grown man. You know, if you know that you know, Billy over here like to beat on Jane every Saturday night after he get through with his Thunderbirds, that's something that's a problem for the community, right? Because Jane is a mother that has children that are gonna grow up to see that, you know, type of household, right? And when those broken children come out of that broken household, they're gonna have, you know, broken household problems. And 9 times out of 10, they will grow up not trusting the very people who look like them.
Ask you this question.
Islam.
Then if you build it on that, and we want your input on this too, Brother Malik. Who you think is at fault in a situation like that?
It's individual. Because I don't have to do anything outside of my control at the end of the day.
I'm saying, put it like this. Then it's using it about the woman getting abused and the children, right?
Because children and women are getting abused in 2017. Christian calendar year.
Is it not the responsibility of the mother at that time to take action to protect herself and the children, so the children won't be subjected to that turmoil?
That is the other part of it.
Yeah, but then at the same time, you don't know another person's decision.
You don't. You don't know their circumstances.
So, but their decision affects their children.
Right.
So their decision affects their children. Here again is what and why the world is fucked up. It's a cycle that is continually spinning. No one is man enough or woman enough to stop it.
And which brings me back to my original point. If I know Jim Bob is beating on Jane,
what do you do?
What do you do? You know, there has to be some level of accountability within the community.
What would you do? Let's say it was a community that everybody was like mind, like you. Say in agreement on some levels.
All right, now let's preference this.
Okay.
All right. Moors are behind at least 100 years from what the Prophet originally directed and intended for us. All right. We do not have our Mufti forces in place to the degree that your local policy enforcers may be in charge of things, right? To have an emergency network system, and to be able to respond to things and situations such as domestic violence, right, or any dispute for that matter. So in an ideal situation, that would be in place to assist if things get out of hand, right? To where the community is able to manage it within the community without involving third parties, and commercial entities. So, prefacing with that, now it's my personal belief that, again, if we had the education system, together, like we was talking about earlier, when we talk about the Rockefeller education system and how they establish things, a lot of the problems that we run into and the issues we run into in terms of understanding and basis, of civility goes back to the educational system, right? And coupled with that, is the home training that goes with that. You know what I mean? But the two, they're not mutually exclusive, because the parents of tomorrow come from the schools of today. We know that. So it's incumbent upon us to do what we can to help raise the tide for everybody, for all ships. But we definitely wanted to keep things in perspective. But I yield the floor. Was there anything you had to build further on that? Because I think like I said, it's gonna be a pretty short one today.
Yeah, I could build a little bit on it. Let me start over there.
If you want to, yeah, go for it.
Let me see those books.
Don't you got this one?
Yeah, I got that.
I want to read this one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I'd be really needing to read this one, like ASAP.
Islam thing, assalamu alaikum. Is what we was talking about earlier, about how Beth, how he was in that shallow grave, and how it has a similarity with the story of Yeshua, right? And that similarity of the story with Yeshua and how he was in the grave for 3 days and he raised that temple up. If you read, or if you have a copy of the Brothers of the Secret Brotherhood of the East and the Circle 7 Holy Quran, you understand what I'm saying along those lines. Hiram Abiff is in that shallow grave like we were talking about earlier. It's just us. Is this the way that our ancestors were connecting with us? That we would be exposed to these books, and this one particular book that we would be exposed to, which was the Bible. I'm pretty sure everybody read the Bible. I'm pretty sure there was a lot of Jehovah's Witnesses out there, a lot of Mormons, a lot of Baptists, etc., etc. I'm pretty sure that we are somewhat familiar. Yeah. My background, I was a Jehovah's Witness. I read the scriptures all the time. Studied with the Hebrew Israelites as well. Really got me into the scriptures. And then by my understanding of the scriptures a little more, and the precepts that I learned from them, kind of opened up another door, another avenue. But when I'm reading these books, I'm looking at it different. I'm not looking at it in the light in which the teachers taught me. I'm looking at it in the light the way that I'm teaching myself. Understanding the words for the words themselves, because the words have meaning. Even when you go back to the scriptures, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. We can see that. So it's not like I'm jinxing myself or trying to deceive myself. That would be foolish, trying to deceive myself. Because I'm not in it to deceive myself. I'm in it to free myself.
Actually, no.
Yeah. And by knowing, it's half the battle. You freeing yourself and you're able to free others. So you walk in this walk, and you talk in the talk, and you lead in the path. You're not this point, hey, it's over here. I don't want to be a Moses. I don't want to lead and can't go into the promised land. That's silly.
Wood.
Yeah. I don't want to do that. All that work for what? Are you serious? I want to enjoy
You know, I want to see what sweet honey tastes like. You know, crystal clear water. You know, the stuff that they talk about. I want to see the big watermelons. I like watermelons. I ain't fun. They're good.
As they say, the American dream.
Yes. I want to see all of that. I want to see it. I'm pretty sure everybody wants to see it. Is it true? Yeah, I want to see it. Will there ever be a time where man and woman, where just humans exist in peace? I got to give it to us. I got to give us a round of applause. We all making efforts to live like that. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm pretty sure the people that are listening, you guys are doing it. You know, this thing, it wasn't that long ago that there was segregation. It wasn't. Even though you may still have some bugging out, but the majority of them was like saying, yo, that's wrong. So the things that the prophet did say is true.
Come to manifest.
They all manifest. Just like how he said, if the Europeans be just, they will have an Asiatic for president and a European for vice president. And look what happened. Barack and Biden, right?
But do you think that was as much prophecy? Well, we know there was a lot of prophecy being fulfilled in that demonstration, but do you think that was an effort for the European to kind of fulfill it ahead of schedule, maybe, so that we would kind of move, fall into a comfort level, maybe?
Honestly, I think it's happened the way it has to happen. You know why? Because it can't happen no other way. It's been prophesied. You know, if it's been prophesied, it just like how.
Because I've heard that from different people. You know what I mean?
But check the swing.
It was all a setup.
Nah, it was prophesied, man. I mean, we can see it. We can see it. I'm not going to hate you forever. You know, love overtakes hate. I don't care what nobody say. We can see hate slowly vanishing. We can see the earth. We can see humans progressing to levels like, hey, it's cool. You see, I mean, really and truly, they now accepting all types of stuff now. Homosexuality. Yeah, ain't nobody saying, yo, that's not. Hey.
Speaking of that, didn't they start allowing troops to wear hijabs and for certain troops to also wear their beards?
I don't know.
You know, Muslims. I think they did.
I saw that. I've seen troops with their
the Sikhs with the turbans.
Yeah, I've seen them with their uniform on.
Yeah, I've seen the actual military version, camo version turban.
Yeah, I seen it. Yeah. So now once again, you see that everything is
social progression.
Is it engineering, or is it just people saying enough is enough? Just like even if you go back and read the Revelation where it says that everybody, the righteous people was chilling, yay, and then all of a sudden you had somebody come up, God, try to come up to destroy and to deceive again, and then bolts of lightning came out of heaven and destroyed them. That's just the people fighting back, saying, nah, we're not going to tolerate that bullshit no more. We've been there, we've done that. Check this out. Now listen, I'm coming from yeah, that book right there, The Mystery of the Silent Brotherhood of the East, chapter 10. They read the story of the life of man, of all his struggles, losses, and gains. And in the light of past events and deeds, they saw what would be best for him in coming years. They knew the kind of law and precept suited to his estate. They saw the highest Allah ideal that the race could comprehend. Upon the 7 postulates, these sages were to formulate the law of life of the coming age that souls may rest. Now Regency was the oldest sage. He took the chair of chief and said, man is not far enough advanced to live by faith. He cannot comprehend the things his eyes see not. He yet is child, and during all the coming ages he must be taught. Pay attention. Man must be taught. Now think how they taught us when we was growing up. Think how they are teaching us now. Think of how they are teaching the children now. Just think. I read it again. He yet is child. It's talking about man. Yet he is child, and during all the coming age must be taught by pictures, symbols,
rights forms. I let that sink in. It probably won't hit you guys until later tonight when you're sleeping. That's what Tom said the last time, right? Think about that. His God must be a human God. He can't see Allah by faith, and he cannot rule himself. The king must rule. The man must serve. The man must serve. That's Brother Bay. That's Brother Maybe Bay. Islam, brother. Hey, where you at? Yeah, Brother L over here. Me, Brother L, and Brother Bay. We online. We live, bro. We live, brother.
You know how the Moors do.
Yeah, brother. Alright, peace. Yo, that we was just talking. That's Brother Maybe Bay. Yeah, I told you, boy, chemistry, man. Yeah, like we were saying. Man can't rule himself. You need to be taught with patterns. Patterns, shape, size, wrist. Okay, let's turn this way. You know?
To understand the form of things. The basics.
You can't reinvent the wheel, you just to make the wheel better. That's it. Man's already perfect. You just gotta teach him perfection. Gotta teach him perfection. Teach him like a child. We know he's gonna grow up to be the child gonna grow up. Just like trees, flowers. You know, they do things. So you teach. You can give them a speed course or a fast course or whatever course you want to call it, crash course, while they're young, but yet you can still let them be children, but you teach them. Now, at that point, when you're reading and understanding what the prophet left, and you put the scriptures together, you see, his morality is teaching you love. But everybody say love, but do we really understand love?
Effective love.
Love, I mean, if you sit back, love can't be like hunger. Hunger pains come and go. All right, I'm hungry, so or get something to eat, you're satisfied. A couple of hours later, you're gonna be hungry again. But is your love like hunger? Oh, I love you today and I hate you tomorrow. That's not loving. I mean, do you have the ability? I know you have the ability to love the way that the Messiah loved. I know you have the ability to love the way that Buddha had taught you to love. I know we all have the ability to do those things, but do we exercise them? Do we do them? Or do we want to do it? Or do we just talk about doing it? Is it hard to do? And why is it hard to do? It's because you got one person waiting to get in, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You got one person waiting to get in.
Let him in.
How you let him in?
Hit unlock on that.
Where?
Right there.
Right here?
Yep.
That's it?
Yeah, it should be straight.
Okay. Yeah, that's it, you know? We have to learn love. We have to learn how to clean ourselves. Because that's what the John the Baptist, the forerunner, that's what the forerunner was taught. He was taught a right. I'm going to show you how to clean yourself. So now you know how to clean yourself. So now you clean on the outside. What makes the inside clean? Love. Love is what makes the inside clean. Are we able? I'm able. Do I want to? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. That's a struggle that I got to get over. That's understanding higher self and lower self. Can we really reach that pinnacle in this lifetime? I can. Because I got the desire to. That's what the prophet says. Study yourself. If you ask me what to study again, study yourself. Keep studying yourself. Study yourself. If you can study yourself, you can conquer yourself. Then you have the ability to be like the Messiah. Strong enough to be on both planes. He said, what I can do, you can do. Are we just saying it because it sounds cool? Or do we really mean it?
Islam.
You know? And that's so heavy for your brain, man. It's heavy. It's real heavy.
All right, yo, but that's it, man. Huh?
Hit the red button.
Hit it?
Yep.
All right, everybody. Islam.
And of course, we got our active Moors in the building, activemoors.com, more book, the Long Moor Forum. You know, make sure you get in contact with us, get in with Active Moors so you can get on point. So, you know, we're live, family. And I'm just getting the link out to a couple more places, you know. Hopefully the room will fill up pretty quickly. We're going to get started. But either way, we're gonna keep it moving. You know how Moors do. Navigating. Islam. So while we getting started, who we got in the building?
Yo.
Introduce yourself. Go on and hop in the shit, man. Yeah, go on hop in the shit, man. Keep it smooth.
Islam, family, Islam. This your good brother, Amexem Bay, you know? Building with your brother L. Brother Malik, come out of the people.
Islam. Gonna get started. So this is the Friday class. So the title of today's class is In Living Color. And I wanted to kind of freestyle today because a lot of us are thinking that we're really living in color, you know. And it's coming from a conversation, sets of conversations I've been having with some other Moors, you know, throughout the weeks and the times and from the round table. And it's occurred to me that, you know, we've got a lot of these, you know, zombie shows and movies, you know, stuff like The Walking Dead and, you know, if you're on Netflix, there's this one called Citizen Z and they got another iZombie and, you know, all these zombie movies and shows and stuff, right? And it was occurring to me, you know, that there's a common theme going throughout all of these shows, right? To where you've got, you know, the general population basically, you know, living as zombies, and the few who are striving and fighting to survive, you know, are out there, you know, trying to maintain humanity in the midst of chaos and destruction. And, you know, Noble Drew Ali foretold, you know, in the prophecies and in the oral statements and stuff of, you know, the destruction. And he told, you know, like here, it's page 13, right? Oral statements and prophecies. Number 62. One day bombs are going to fall so that they won't miss a spot on as wide as my shoe. Right?
That's right on.
He said that you are going to need a basement to hide in. Right? And ever since they did what they did to Nagasaki in Japan, we've known that man has had capabilities of atomic weaponry.
Right.
And, you know, laser guided weaponry. Even at that. And we saw that demonstrated during Desert Storm and, you know, the advances of that even now to drone warfare. All right? With the Obama era wars, you know.
But that's like right on.
Yeah.
What you saying, because I was. Assalamu alaikum, Moors.
Alaikum salam.
Alaikum salam. Hey, we in the building. It's your brother Malik Bay. You know, in here for another study, and you know, just talk about some of the current events that's going on, you know. So,
all nigga claims to live in color.
you know, just chilling.
Yeah, we just chilling, getting it set up right now.
Right, brother.
All right.
Alright, brother, we get the flow.
All right. So,
Musical chairs.
Yeah, I know, right? So play a little musical chairs out here, you know. And if you ain't got your seat, then hey, you just ain't in the building, man.
Right.
You just might missed it. We're going and cut the music right now, so we can go and get started. And yep, we got some folks getting in the chat right now in the room. Let's see who popping in, checking in with us one time. But yeah, Moors, we Islam, NIDL, Friday class, live on location, getting everything set up and laying the flowers here. Won't even be the Christ suckers like a popsicle. The only black I represent hip-hop chronicles. It's ironical. If mission was possible, the darker borders call Moorish flow nautical. I make them sick to their abdominal. A sun falcon L, light up a verse so phenomenal. Black power MCs repping God hop, with no status. Moorish MC wake masses using mic apparatus. Black power faker than Trish Stratus boom. It's more science when Muslims run 7 times around Q. It's more science that got L shot at the podium. More science got you high up for audio. Of comedic mysteries, more as the custodian. Warriors stand on squares in my lyric audience. Is dead like some king over. So today, you know, it's gonna be a real special day, y'all. You know, because we got some special guests in the building. Today is definitely going to be something special for you guys out there in YouTube land and whatever else you're watching.